Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hello, my name is Dani. Welcome to my handbag channel where I love talking about handbags. I love talking about luxury handbags, contemporary brand handbags, and any beautiful handbags in this world that I may be obsessed about. Now, if you like that kind of content, so do subscribe, turn on notifications so that you'll be informed every time I upload a video. So today's video, I thought I would talk about my 2025 sort of wish list. Now, I say sort of because I actually do have very big financial goals for a few years, put it that way. Now, I achieved, actually exceeded my financial goals in 2024. But, I feel like my financial goals are achievable within 10 to 12 years. But if I can front load all that, it will be much easier. I will need to do less heavy lifting as time passes. So I kind of want to be good if I can. So, and I've called it my sort of wish list because there are a lot of things. Okay, well, specifically, there's I think 5 or 6 items on this list. I'm just looking on my phone here that I would like to buy, but none of them are exactly how I want them to be. I'm very lucky, very privileged to own a lot of handbags, and when I'm buying a new handbag now, I want them to almost be perfect. They have to meet all my criteria, otherwise I find it hard to part with my money, especially when I have these financial goals hanging over my head. So most of what I have on my sort of 2025 wish list are from Louis Vuitton, and therefore I have my trusty Murakami Greta bag over here to keep me company and to set the theme of the video. All right, I'm just going to look down at my phone over here. So the first item that I got on my list here is another Murakami. I would love a black Murakami piece, and I did say in my last video when I also talked about Murakami, I said if you happen to see a black Murakami multicolor that is reasonably priced in, okay condition, feel free to send me a link. I would be so interested. I have generally found the black Murakami to be more difficult to find, and because it's black, it tends to show sort of less wear and tear on the canvas, and for that reason I do think that the black Murakami multicolors tend to be more popular than the white ones. And because I have a budget that I would like to stick to, it's not been that easy to find one. I do like the Claudia, and there's the Audra is not bad, but I'm curious how heavy that is. I've heard that the Audra can be quite noisy. The Salone is quite nice. And there's another one, like the Beverly is okay, maybe. Oh, the Theta. I absolutely love the Theta. I think it is so pretty. I wish I'd be able to see a Theta in person to see if I can work with it. The Theta is one that has the buckle, like it's a real buckle, not a decorative one on the front. So you actually have to undo it like a belt. It's Meredith from Living Lux with Meredith, who does own the Theta in the PM size. And she mentioned that she loved it. She didn't exactly say how she got into the bag to reach for her items, but just based on what she said, the sides are quite big, and she loved that feature of the bag because it made it easy to get things in and out. So I'm assuming that she didn't undo the buckle. She just reached into the side of the bag to put her things in and take them out. But she didn't actually demonstrate it. So I don't actually know how easy or how difficult it is. So I wish I could see the Theta. I find that it is such a Y2K bag. It is just so unique. There's really nothing like it. Not that I'm aware of. I guess minus the flamenco, not the flamenco, the Loewe. Is it? No, it's not the flamenco. It's the other one. I'll put a picture up on screen. So that one that looks a bit like the Theta, but in my opinion, the Theta is just iconic, especially in multicolors. So I would love a Theta. In order for me to be comfortable buying one of these black Murakami multicolors, I would like it to be around 1,300 Australian dollars or less. I don't want any cracked canvas. I don't want any cracked leather. I would like the silk screen to be still relatively present. And ideally, if the item can be in Australia, I would appreciate that much more so that I don't have to deal with customs and duties and the complications of logistics if anything goes wrong. So that's the first bag, or the first type of bag that I would like to add to my collection this year, sort of. The second bag that I would love to add to my collection is a Speedy 20. The Speedy 20 from Louis Vuitton. So I did very briefly own a Speedy 20. Some of you who followed my channel for a while know that I purchased the Yayoi Kusama Pumpkin Speedy 20. I pre-ordered the bag and it was available for me, which is absolutely great. Unfortunately, when I got it, it was not perfect. I saw a flaw and I sent the pictures to my Louis Vuitton sales associate, and she told me that it is a defect. For that reason, I sent it back. Now, I know that the flaw was very small and it was very minor, but I knew that they did not exist on the other bags. So essentially, there was a dent in the chaps of the handle, and other people were saying that theirs did not have the dents, including people who owned older Speedy 20s. So just like a plain monogram one, not the one that I purchased. So they had owned their Speedy 20s for a longer time, and despite that, there was none of these dents on the chaps. So I was not going to accept paying retail price for a defective bag. And I know we talk about, buying bags for ourselves, not thinking about selling them on, but these bags have value. Luxury handbags have some form of value. Of course, I don't expect to sell my used bags for a higher price than what I bought them for, but they have value, full stop. Like, I might be able to sell it for at least 50% of what I paid for it, but I may not be able to get that kind of value for a defect that's been declared by the fashion house itself. So I did get some comments on that video when I demonstrated the defect, and I said I was returning the bag for that reason. Yeah, I'm not going to accept a defective bag, because the other problem is, if down the track I decide to sell it, what if someone then says this is not consistent with Louis Vuitton quality and therefore it is not a real bag? I don't want that kind of business. So for that reason, I returned the bag. I had intentions of repurchasing it. I actually paid for another one, but there was no stock of that pumpkin Speedy 20 anywhere in the world that I could find to purchase. So I actually asked my SA to look in the Brazilian stores, because it looked like there was some in Brazil. But they said no, they couldn't do that. Yeah, so that was just unfortunate. And in that period that I owned it, I was able to just, put my items in it to test whether it fitted all the things that I carried. And it did. And for that reason, I do find that it's the perfect Goldilocks size for me. It's such a cute little dinky bag, but it carries everything that I need to. So for that reason, I've always wanted a Speedy 20. And I do like Boston style bags. My favorite bags are the Boston style bags. I want to add that I never carried that pumpkin Speedy out of my house before I returned it. And on some level, I wish I at least experienced it once outside. In any case, so with regards to which Speedy 20 I want, I don't know. Sure, I don't want to buy another monogram bag for now anyway. I don't know. I'm just a little bit averse towards monogram at the moment. Not that I have no monogram bags, but yeah, I just don't feel like adding the monogram Speedy 20 to my collection. Certainly, I do think the Damier Ben one is very pretty and very practical, but I don't know why I'm just not that drawn to it. Now, there is one Speedy 20 that I've looked at that I think is so cute. It is this black leather one with the nano monogram, or the micro monogram. I can't remember the exact term for it, but the small monogram debossed into the leather, and it's in the color black. I've seen it pop in and out of 24S website. It is from a previous season. I do really like it, but at the same time, it's over $4,000. I mentioned my financial goals earlier on, and this is certainly not going to help me achieve my financial goals, especially if I start buying bags so early in the piece at the start of the year in January or February 2025. Maybe by the end of the year, if I absolutely buy no handbags whatsoever, I do think I will have room in my budget to add on a $4,000, $5,000 bag. I'm actually putting it in my budget at the moment to save up for a $5,000 bag by the end of the year. So it depends on how good I am and whether I make it to the end of the year without buying a bag. And if I don't, I certainly can add this $4,500 Speedy to my collection guilt-free. I am also open to purchasing this Speedy 20 pre-loved with a discount with a bit of wear and tear. So again, if you spot this Speedy on the pre-loved market, do let me know. The next bag that is on my sort of wish list, I kind of want it, kind of don't want it, I'm not sure. Palm Springs Mini. I've talked about Palm Springs Mini for so many years on my channel, indicating that I do want it. The reason I haven't added it to my collection, okay, so firstly, as I said before, I don't want to add any more classic Louis Vuitton monogram canvas bags to my collection. I just don't find them that versatile. Like, when times are bad and you're feeling a bit self-conscious, I do find it quite difficult to wear such a loud bag. I would prefer something that's a little bit more subtle. So for that reason, I've always said I don't want the Palm Springs Mini in the monogram canvas. There were some rumors that a black Palm Springs Mini was going to come out at the end of 2024, but hello, where is it? Where is it? On some level, I don't really mind because I'm not really in the place to buy a brand new Louis Vuitton bag right now anyway. I've spent enough towards the end of 2024. If I want to buy another brand new bag from store, I have to wait till the end of the year, as I've already said. So with the Palm Springs Mini, I've always admired it. I've seen it in consignment stores and I've looked at it and I think it's so cute. The other issue is I find that it's edgy because it's a mini backpack. It's not quite a backpack. It is a backpack, but it's not like a full-size backpack. And it is a backpack that I would carry as a crossbody. So it is edgy in that sense. And because it's a backpack which looks casual, it's not that versatile in terms of myself being able to transition it from day to a nighttime event. So for that reason, I'm just holding back a little bit on purchasing the Palm Springs Mini. I mean, my ideal Palm Springs Mini, I would like it in black leather, but at the moment it doesn't exist anyway. So, well, it's just in my dreams, isn't it? And we'll see if Louis Vuitton will make my dreams come true this year. Now, those are all the Louis Vuitton bags on my sort of list. I do have another brand that I'm really interested in. Again, I don't think it comes to any surprise that this brand is Hermes. Hermes is really next level in terms of pricing, especially of their bags. I don't feel like I want to dabble in that sort of price range at this point in time. Maybe once I've, really gotten really far ahead with my financial goals, I will then open my world up to Hermes. I mean, at the same time, do I need any more bags? No, I have my Birkin 25 and my Kelly 32. So no, do I need any more Hermes bags or any bags at all? No, I don't. But if I could dream, and of course, I could dream, I wouldn't mind adding a Bolide, like a Bolide 27 or the next size down. I don't want the mini. The mini is too small, but one that is similar to the Elma BB. I would love to add a Bolide to my collection. The other bag that I do like from Hermes is the Garden Party 30. I did get a chance to try it on in an airport one time when I was traveling, and I was able to get it over my shoulder. And I just think it's such an elegant, understated tote bag. It doesn't have a zip, but for some reason my heart can forgive that. I don't know why. So maybe a garden party. The other bag, I would say the bag. I'm thinking of the bag. I feel like, I don't know, I'll think about the bag. It's sort of like, sometimes I'm okay with it, sometimes I'm not. I've tried it on before in a consignment store as well, and I found it really difficult to open up the straps that go through the big buckle / hardware on the front. So maybe while I'm dreaming, why not just dream that I'll have it? I've talked about in my other videos as well that I would love to have an Hermes Mini Lindy. I do find the bag really cute. It's like $10,000 or even $12,000 retail at the moment. And I think maybe secondhand is like between $9,000 and $10,000. So in my mind, yeah, no, I'm just not going there, like dropping that amount of money on a single bag. I'm just not there yet, okay? But I'm just going to say I'm not there yet. One day I will get there and I will get myself an Hermes Mini Lindy. The Lindy 26 is also a bag that I really like. It's such an ASMR bag. I've said it before in some of my other videos. There's just so much things to play with, like the zips and then connecting it on and then doing the turn lock. My daughter actually really enjoys playing with that bag as well. So yeah, if I could add a Lindy 26 to my collection, I would love it. The other bag that I really like from Hermes is the Archon bag. It just looks so understated and elegant, really. Yeah, it's like this hobo bag that's curved. It's got a zipper, and yeah, it just looks simplistic, elegant, and comfy to carry. So one day, if I could add an Arco bag, the thing is, by the time I'm ready to add that Arco bag, given that it's a seasonal bag, I don't know how long it's going to hang around for. The other Hermes item that is on my sort of wish list is another Hermes silk scarf. I would love a 90 by 90. So I do have a long one already. I think it's 170 by 20, something like that, but it's a long one as opposed to a square scarf. That is a scarf of preference for me. I do prefer a long scarf as opposed to a square one. For my lifestyle, I do find it a bit more versatile. But at the same time, if I could, I would love to add at least one Hermes 90 by 90. It's about finding a design that I really can't resist. And maybe it's one that I want to buy from their flagship store in Paris, just so that I can get the experience and I can say, look, I've been there and I really enjoyed it, as opposed to buying online and buying from a consignor or a reseller. Now, the thing that is definitely not on my wish list are luxury sneakers. Here are my Hermes Avantage or Avantage sneakers, however you say it. I'm going to film a review as to why I don't like these sneakers and why I would never buy luxury sneakers again. If you're interested, certainly subscribe, turn on notifications, and you'll be informed when that video is uploaded. But tell me what's on your wish list for 2025. Leave me a comment. I would really love to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.